ladies and gentlemen, we have a bit of a feast to make. So, my plan is to go for a run later, but in the meantime, we've got some venison, ground venison in the pan, some serrano peppers, and then some lolly peppers, sweet and seedless. I'm gonna have a banana, half an avocado, and potentially drizzle with some honey. Actually, and then my favorite part. This is how I season the beef. Here we go. Watch this. Face track me. Oh, let's fucking go! There's no extra BS bullshit stuff in here. It's pretty clean. This camera is gonna be next level. I like to cut the peppers in half because they're kind of big, but this is literally just because if you don't like add stuff like the peppers, I mean, this is just like, it could be a very bland meal. I like the crunch. I don't like to cook them. I am not going to put these on the stove. I just like the crunch of a raw. It's so good. If you want to get shreddy, instead of using carbs, or I'm sure there's probably carbs in these, but instead of putting like tons of rice or whatever, potatoes, you know, go this route. You're still going to get like the volume, or you can have like a little bit less rice, more peppers, or more, you know, stuff like this. That's just like, it's volume food. Not that I'm trying to lose weight. I did not want to make a potato in the air fryer or rice right now. So I was like, this is easier. We got some bananas that are sitting here as my carb source. They're going to go bad, so I might as well eat them. Now these guys are supposed to be spicy, but they're kind of old, so they probably lost a lot of their spice, their kick. But same thing, gonna finish them off because why not? And if you pick out the seeds, you're a pussy. Here's how you cut an avocado. You go a long ways, okay, around it. It's very simple. This knife, by the way, $30 on Amazon. Best knife I have. I cut all my bread with it. No, all the knives you have are gonna dull. So either you sharpen them or you get a good knife like this. I mean, come on. Eat the half that has no seed. Go in here. If you want, you don't have to do this, but I do it because it's cool. I make some slices, and then I just go scoop it out with a fork or a spoon, right on the bowl. Or you could just squeeze it out. It doesn't matter. But then you got to save. Then you save this one, save this half, put it in the fridge, cover it, and it's good for tomorrow. Oh shit! Such a shame. I cut it. I almost just grabbed the bottom of the pan. That's really hot. All right. I have no idea how much was in this, but I'm going to estimate it was about a pound, maybe a little bit more than a pound. So I'm going to do about half. Boom. Boom. Dialed in. It dialed in. I was going to put some honey on it, but I don't really need it. Now, the two final pieces, the puzzle here, might sound weird. Might look at me like, what the fuck? I am out of hot sauce. So when I am out of hot sauce, we have to do what we have to do. And that is a mustard drizzle. Best ketchup I've ever had. It's got no sugar. It literally is just vegetables. So you wonder how I get my vegetables in? Well, I eat them, and then I also eat them in ketchup every single day. Literally. Tomato concentrate, apple puree concentrate, distilled vinegar, carrot puree, butternut squash puree, salt, onion powder, allspice. That's it. No sugar, no bullshit. No need to sweeten it with artificial shit. It's so good. I eat it every day. Costs a lot of money, but I get them. I order it in bulk, and it's good. A little banana, a little avocado, a little mustard, a little pepper, a little bit of deer. Pretty good. Dude. Oh. Dates? Let me tell you. If you don't know, now you do. They're good. You kind of have a lot to do. And this date is so good. I'm like the king of nibbling. Because when something is so good, you don't want it to go away. And so you just nibble. They're kind of popular now on like social media and shit. Because everyone's trying to find ways to like make things taste good or have desserts that taste good that are not fucking bad for you. I'm a skeptical guy at times, but dates hit. Like dates actually hit. And they actually taste like, I think they taste good. Dates, honey, you have to go through an awakening phase, and that phase is like you have to get past like the processed sugar, the artificial sweeteners. Like you kind of go, here's how it goes. You go from processed sugar, refined sugars, whatever, like your junk foods, to saying, okay, well, I want to cut that out. So let me go with the sugar-free. I did this myself. Let me go sugar-free and better, right? We're going to make, we're going to save calories, it's great. And then you realize that that's kind of fucking your gut up. So then you go, oh, okay, well then let me go to like natural things. Like let's go real. And then when you make that switch from sugar-free back to like maple syrup, honey, dates, fruits again, it might take you a minute to like get back on track, but get back in the rhythm, like for your taste buds to adjust. And it might be kind of weird because you're not used to those flavors. Like you're used to like the sugar-free. You're like, oh, this is great. Sugar-free syrup, sugar-free jelly. This, like you thought it tastes good. Once you go back to like real food or like natural things, like give it a week or two. And then you're like, oh my God, how did I not, like I used to not like honey. I'm like, how the fuck did I ever think that? I could put honey on anything, and it's so good. I can just guzzle it into my mouth. It's so good. It sounded so weird, but it's good. So I don't really pay attention to the news anymore, and I think I'm gonna get fucked. So check this out. I have a trade on, right? But here's the thing, right? I can't get out of this trade. Like, it technically hit stop, right? This is now in after hours. But I can't get out of this trade until tomorrow morning at the open. It's currently 5:23 Eastern time right now, PM. And, like, it's technically at my stop right now, just below my stop in the after. Now, who knows? Maybe we have overnight it goes up and never hits or whatever. But this is a situation that I have potentially been expecting to occur at some point where you have a position on, news drops overnight, and then it opens up way lower than your stop loss, so you end up losing a lot more than you planned, and then it's like, we might have that situation here. And when I say I don't listen to the news, this apparently was like the tariff day. I don't fucking know. I was like, haven't tariffs been kind of getting announced, the past couple weeks? And it looks really bad from a perspective of like, oh, you don't watch the news, but you're gonna trade the financial markets. And I would say, yeah, probably it looks bad from that perspective, but at the same time, listening to the news and listening to CNBC or whatever has only like hurt me in the past, or has net hurt me in the past. So why am I gonna start caring? Inevitably, you just have to take it in stride and be like, yeah, that's just part of the game, right? That's just kind of what happens. So that's the situation here. We'll see what happens tonight. I mean, if it's like a dollar or two below my stop, not the end of the world. But if we open like if we gap down 10% on this shit, which will be a massive move by it as it is. But if we gap down like 10%, then I'm going to lose like double what I plan to lose on this trade, which is going to be ass, but should be fine. But that's also just going to be ass. Note too, I'm actually quite surprised by this, to be honest with you, because check this out. So I
we've been super shitty super bearish sentiment for a while. Fear and Greed's given you a 17. Put calls have been like the highest they've been in a while, and they're just staying high. I don't know if you can see that, but like I'm kind of surprised, to be honest, that this tariff announcement. I mean, I don't know anything about it, to be honest with you. Like I'm not like super dialed into this stuff. I know it's whatever going on. If this move actually holds, like I'm kind of surprised because we've been down a lot prior to this, and like I'm not surprised necessarily. Like I'm not talking about the actual like realities of the news, which I guess everyone gets caught up. I'm more just talking about like from a sentiment perspective, people on the same side of a trade winning for a decent amount of time. Like we are super bearish. For us to have a huge gap down day and for it to hold, we'll see. If that happens, that would be really impressive to me. Like that's very impressive.
So what I was just thinking about, like I'm like, honestly, dude, not gonna lie, like this is a perfect example of why we trade the strength, right? Because I'm looking at this shit and I'm like, the issue that I'm gonna have now, like obviously the news aside, right? It's not like 8 o'clock, but essentially we just dove down and like it's staying down. Maybe it's overnight gap up, who gap down further up. Who knows what'll happen overnight? Probably some sort of retracement. I don't know, but this wouldn't be a problem, like because I'm trying to. I'm not bottom picking. It did give me my setup, but it just tells me like even more so that these bottom reversal plays, like yes, they are the inverse of my setup. So it's like exactly what I want to see, except then you get a signal that tells you otherwise, which is then the trigger to get in, which is exactly like, it's not super common, but when you get them, they can work. But it's also like, to be honest, dude, like I go back and not back and forth. There's no going back and forth, but it's like, if you just didn't fuck with this thing in the first place, like, and you just played the strength, like I'm looking at gold, dude, if we were just riding gold, because that was actually my trade from mid-March. I'm looking at gold right now. I'm like, dude, if we were just riding gold, gold's been on it hit a new all-time high as I'm speaking. Like gold's been on an absolute tear. Just ride the strength. There's strength somewhere, and in a better, less choppy environment, ride the weakness when we're going down. That's the game. The issue has been on the weakness side. The issue has been we just haven't seen, like we legitimately just have not seen the follow through that I'm looking for me. If you want to short any pops, it's been good, but I don't short pops, I short breakdowns. That's just a strategy. And not every, you can go find them, sure, but a lot of the ones that I have seen, the breakdown setups have been kind of there, but then we get like that false breakdown candle, which is exactly the trade that I'm playing on target. That works, but then it ends up being like news. It's a whole shit show. It's in the grand scheme. You can kind of take it two ways. You can get all caught up in it and start thinking, oh, I gotta figure this out. And then you're playing this, I gotta time the market game. Good luck with that. Or you could just kind of like, it is what it is. Like, yeah, these are contemplations, these are thoughts that pop through my head, but it kind of just is what it is. And we're gonna ride. Like we're gonna ride with whatever happens. It's the chart's a chart. This is gonna like these setups will come again and again and again. And the game is playing this out over the course of many, 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 many setups. Not today. Like, because you're gonna have different news. You're gonna have periods where the news isn't that influential, seemingly, on the market. You're gonna have periods where it is very influential. So like you're gonna have these ups and downs. So it's like, it'll even out. Just let it play out. So you can get caught up in it. I try not to. But sometimes, when you get, this is a questionable situation because of what I've seen from a sentiment data perspective. I'm perplexed. I'm not tripling, quadrupling down like I would in the past, because you can get crushed that way. I've learned my lesson there. But it's like, I'm actually pretty surprised, and I'm questioning things like, beyond like, whatever, and then you brush it off and the next day it comes. It's more like, it's a little more than just a little surprised, But that's what we're at. Today marks the 44th Invisalign liner. $6,000. I don't know how much it costs. I think everyone's a little different. $6,000 to fix my teeth because my orthodontist back in like elementary school or middle school fucked me up. Time to shave my taint. Just kidding. Or am I? For the longest time, I can't grow facial hair. Dude, why does this look so weird? There you go. So the issue that I have, I've always wanted to honestly try, and I probably will at some point. As you can tell, I don't give a fuck about my hair. Honestly, dude, I'm liking it. I'm liking just letting it rip. I want to get it. We're probably gonna trim this a little bit, you know, let the back rip. Like let the back truly go for it a little bit longer, and then we're good. But I can grow a stash. Don't want to. I can grow like this, but I can't grow anything right here. I mean, like some, right? Like here, you know. Then there's just like this area right here. This side actually specifically, like nothing there. So it just looks bad. So I trim it every couple of days. People have said in the past, like, "Yo, he's got the stash." Not even intentionally, just like sometimes I'll just let it go for a bit, usually in the wintertime, and then I'll just like trim it every week or two, and I don't care. Now, if you're a guy and you were doing this, here's what I would say. Just clean up after yourself, because it's very easy to not clean up after yourself, and you can't, depending on the color of your countertops, ew. You might not be able to tell, but these little hairs, no, they get everywhere. Gotta be careful I don't take off a full chunk of my hair now. It's coming down to that length where it's like, it's getting in range. These clippers can bite. Another thing we also gotta do, because I do have a unibrow that comes in, you gotta give it just a little trim. Could rock the unibrow too. Oh, that looks good. Now to shave my taint. Current seek. We are approximately, well, I can tell you right now actually, 2 scales because 1 is not enough. It says I'm 179 pounds. That's high. Like 175, between 173 to 176 in the morning. 5'10". You know where it all goes? Right there. Genetics. Okay, yo, check this out. So, it's the next day, and almost the worst case scenario is occurring to me right now, because you're gonna laugh. So, this Target situation, right? So, I go to bed last night, or we looked at it last night, and it was down to $100. Like, that's right where my stop was, and I'm like, okay, well, like if it can be around $100, whatever, we lose, we lose. But as I am now looking at it in pre-market, this is actually nuts. Check it out. So my stop was here, but because I can't sell it until market opens, I am going to now lose like an entire second position on this, as if I lost 2 trades. So 1 loss is going to actually turn into 2 losses, roughly, as it is just absolutely nosediving. It's down 9+% in the pre-market. Back in action at the field. We're going to get in probably like 6 to 10 solid sprints, and I'll see how much I can get. It's hot though. Like, it's hot today. It's like 80 plus today. First day it's been 80 plus, but it's good. Check out my feet. It's all just like pollen dust because I guess the field is covered in it. Holy fuck. 230s down, 240s down. Now I'm gonna do walk 100 yards or 200 yards down and back, and then I'll do 4 more 40s and then 2 30s to finish it off. Get about 10 good reps in. Honestly, dude, I find that like
you can't really do much more than that at all out effort. Your body just is not, by the time you get past 10, it's like, I'm shot. Unless you give a shit ton of rest, which I'm trying to do. So I try to get the heart rate. It's at 106 now. That's good. Down around 100, or even a little lower would be great. But around 100, and then I'm good for the next rep. It's usually a good plan. All right, boys and girls, I'm done. Instead of 240s for 7 and 8, I did 100, which fucking crushed me. I haven't run at that speed for that distance, I don't know, since high school. And then I did 230s. So technically, more total distance of all-out effort. But I'm walking 200 yards, a little stretch, and then back to the office. I have to say, when it comes to doing things like this is like, just got attacked by something. This is awesome. There's no one here. Thursday afternoon, 1 o'clock, getting it in before sports, not doing on the weekend for sports reasons. All to yourself. Check it out. 100 yards of goodness and pollen all over my feet.
If you didn't know, I just so happen to be professional sourdough baker from scratch. Just a little something that I've been doing for a bit. I'm kind of nerding out about this sentiment stuff, so check this. I've been looking at this sentiment data. So it goes back to 1987, and I think it's kind of cool, right? So I've been going through this data, and essentially what I'm finding is that there are not many situations or examples or times in history where like I even went back to the .com, I went back to 08, 09. There are not many times in history where we have sentiment these low of numbers. Why does this matter? And who would care? I find myself caring less as time has gone on. The reason why I care now is because I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, this is kind of interesting. And I've been looking at it for the past couple of weeks, and I make videos once a week on this type of stuff. So I'm like, it's kind of cool. When you have a long-term investing approach, like this is cool, you can look at it and go, wow, and say, well, it's probably a time to put more money in. And yeah, it probably is. Probably, we don't know. When you have that approach, cool. You can sit back confidently with no stress and just watch it and deploy cash if you have it and when you have it, or on a recurring basis as you get paid. Simple. Not that complicated. But when you don't, or when you're playing that time market game, when you put an option expiration on, well, dude, this is the worst sentiment we've ever seen, I'm going to go out next month. If you've done that about a month ago, when we've already seen a couple of weeks of sentiment being pretty bad, if you did that about a month ago, well, right now, here we are a month later with drilling to new lows, like substantially lower than where we were about a month ago. So you're sitting there like, oh, fuck. So I have been that guy too many times. And the more I see these situations play out, the more I go, yeah, I really enjoy my approach now, where I have my trading strategy. The trading strategy is a trading strategy. It will have its days. It will have its bad days. It'll have its good days. And then I have the investing strategy where it's just funnel money in to the averages, to the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell on a consistent basis, a recurring basis, sell covered calls when we're going up, to cash flow a little bit. And then if you have cash sitting around, extra cash, on times like this, probably not a bad, like you could do worse things than deploy this cash, is what I'm saying right now, based off history. Now, who knows? You might be sitting on this for a while. You might be sitting on it. It might go down a lot more, and you might be sitting on this, and it might not get back to highs for who knows how long. This might be the beginning of a much larger bear market, for all we know. But
But in the grand scheme, like that's just that's your long term. You're not worried about what happens next week with the option expiration. You know what I'm saying? With the covered calls, you kind of are, but that's when that's different. You're cash flowing, you're selling out the money covered calls. I'm not talking about that's like minuscule amounts of money. And if your covered call goes in the money when you sell a covered call, well, then you technically made money because you had sold your position on the underlying stock at a higher level. And you're like, oh, I locked in gains. So you lock in gains, got to pay taxes on it. Cool, whatever, not fun, I guess. But it's not like there's worse situations. You know what I mean? So it gets me. It's just one of those days. It just gets you. It's like the brain gets going, and it's like, I don't know. I'm very excited. I'm just very excited to see what happens in the next couple of weeks because I have my speculation based off history, but is that going to pan out? And this also shows and proves that just because the probability is this, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen, right? Probability, right? It likely will do this, but timing is also a component, and it doesn't have to, especially in the timing you think. That's my 2 cents. This video is probably too long anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bit of a different approach. Well, I don't even know. I've got a lot of stuff mixed in here, but if you want to see the trade recaps I'm posting, head over to the TC Trades channel, and I'll catch you there. Peace.